This all affects our daily function.
I can't take the estrogen, therapy, but using foods like flax seeds and chia seeds, and yeah,
Yeah.
cutting down, big time cutting down on the cakes and sweets, all that kind of sugar.
How you have to adapt at an early age versus how someone else has to adapt, knowing that, okay, this is my transition phase.
Well, you're not alone. It's just listen to your body, look what it needs, get guidance wherever possible. You need someone to show you the light.
Something's wrong with this body and you're recognizing it, but it's like, what do I do for it?
Not little, but almost like a 360-degree. I didn't know who I was.
Hello and welcome, everyone. This is another great conversation that I'm going to have with one of our dear patients, Indy. And it's going to be another inspiring story for all of you, especially women out there with perimenopause, menopause, or concern about women's health. We are going to learn some great tips from Indy and even with our conversation. So let's start. Indy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Indy, and I've been with Dr. Chhaya very actively from 2 years. But even before that, anytime I had doubt or question, I won't hesitate to bug her. And it was always a relief after talking to her. So that has been like a God's blessing for me. So anything you want to ask, I'm here to answer.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I met Indy as a patient. It was basically telemedicine, but I've seen her also in person. If I had to just bring it down to specifically health as a topic today, what is that that took you to the healthcare system other than the regular screening? Like, what would you say that was like an awakening call, or it was time to take care of your health because of X number of conditions or the reasons that you had to see physicians?
A treatment got me into menopausal, induced menopause. So, more than that treatment, the induced menopause was causing more problems in my life than anything else. Um, I rapidly lost my bone density because of the same.
Mhm.
So that was very concerning, aches and pains and other things, like Renault syndrome. So couldn't put
Mhm.
a finger on it, what was going on.
We think menopause or early menopause or premature menopause will just be hot flashes or just night sweats. But tell us about, specific symptoms because they were concerning. They were,
Yes.
affecting daily routine. And that's where, tend to counsel our patients that it cannot just be hot flashes and night sweats, and that's lack of
Yes.
estrogen, but there's so many other things.
Yes. So yes, hot flashes were the very first part of it. And I did experience that. I mean, I don't know who doesn't experience, but I did experience that. But with that, it was a overall thing. The foods that I could eat before were not complying to my system. I
Mhm.
didn't know what to eat, what not to eat, because everything that worked well before didn't work after.
Mm.
Um, I didn't sleep well,
Mm.
not because of hot flash, but in general. The mood was not what I would call consistent. I mean, I'm pretty cheerful, pretty
Mhm.
chatty, but then I just didn't want to. I was in my cocoon, and I still kind of like I have changed a little bit, but it was little, not little, but almost like a 360-degree. I didn't know who I was. Memory was completely short, which I still, but now I have learned how to handle it. I couldn't remember the last sentence I spoke or where I was walking to. Why did I open the cabinet?
Mhm.
It was just crazy. I mean, it
Mhm.
was. I wanted to say something and I forgot, and I was snapping, like, why did you stop me from talking? I can't remember
Uh-huh.
what I was telling. Food wise, I don't know, is it the low estrogen or the other points? The gut seemed more drier, which I never had a problem. So, of course,
Mhm.
hydration, but even hydrating foods, not greasy, but more oiling or hydrating foods. But again, trying to balance between um,
Correct.
high fat calories, or so it's an
Right.
ongoing process, and thanks to you it's easier because
Yeah.
you guide me very well on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
the
you
food.
pointed mood, the sleep, the
Mhm.
memory,
Yes,
the irritability,
yes.
and trying to, and this all affects our daily function, because we're young. And I just want to say there is difference between premature menopause and menopause in terms of, how you have to adapt at an early age versus how someone else has to adapt, with knowing that, okay, this is my transition phase.
Right.
Um, I also wanted to bring this to notice that the emotional and mental well-being, right? You're trying, that I'm positive, but the body is not letting you be, right? There's a distinction, and
Mhm.
and it's different. Like some of us may just um, bog ourselves down, like
Mhm.
emotionally, that this is how I'm going to be. But you were not one of those persons. You were able to differentiate that something's wrong with this body, and you're recognizing it. But it's like, what do I do for it? What was it that just gave you some support, guidance? Like any tools, tips that you remember
Mhm.
that were helpful with all these symptoms?
What actually tied everything for me were the breathing exercises that you have on your
Sure.
website too. Honestly, I mean, with your medical guidance and those breathing exercises and having the right mindset, those helping in turn for the right mindset were where I would say the biggest intervention. And then
Mm-hmm.
from that, like having that calm mind, having that collected calmness to myself, or
Mm-hmm.
knowing, okay, if I'm getting overwhelmed, let me sit down and breathe for some time, or be very mindful what's going on with
Uh-huh.
my sleep, or the food or anything. Like, if I'm feeling
Sure.
overwhelmed, I could take time to understand, and then take care of it. So even some
Mm-hmm.
days I would wake up in the middle of the night, hot flash or no hot flash, instead of worrying, oh, I didn't sleep, now I have to wake up early for my son and pack this and do that.
Uh-huh.
Instead of worrying of those things, I'm like, it's okay, I'm up, I'll try to sleep back again, have a glass of
Mm-hmm.
water, and just breathe, how I was
Mm-hmm.
taught. And that helped me to go back to
Mm-hmm.
sleep, wake up and do what I need to get done. And okay,
Mm-hmm.
today I'm feeling a little tired, maybe I can take a nap.
When Indy's talking about breathing exercises, it's breath work. It's also called pranayama,
Pranayam, yeah.
and originated from India, and it's actually stimulating our parasympathetic nervous system, right? Our calming nervous system, the digestive nervous system, and very well studied, very much evidence based.
Initially, the aches and pains were so high, or even the certain body parts were hurting so much that I could even have like regular walks and things. So slowly, I
Mm-hmm.
started with a mile walk or a half a mile walk, and then
Mm-hmm.
increasing it as time progressed.
Mm-hmm.
Taking care of the pains was like normal oil massages or something. I try not to take too many medications. It doesn't suit my system. As I said, my system had gone in a different way, so I couldn't understand how to take care of different medication too. But the supplements were helping me: vitamin D, calcium,
Mm-hmm.
something more I forget right now.
Yeah, magnesium we
B12,
had,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
B12.
magnesium was the biggest help I felt.
Uh-huh.
Initially, I was taking it during the day too, so it kept me very calm. But sometimes it made me bit sleepy. I'm pretty sensitive to medication, so it made me little sleepy
Mm-hmm.
during the day. I needed to be more focused. But evening, it did help me to calm down and have a better sleep. Even now, like I can
Mm-hmm.
see the difference when I miss my dose, and when I have my regular supplement, just a
Mm-hmm.
regular dose prescribed on the bottle
Mm-hmm.
itself. So those supplements really helped.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise wise, I ventured into yoga. That was helping me.
Mm-hmm.
As per your suggestion, started picking up some weight. Again, it started with a small pail of water to bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was more functional. I didn't go to gym to pick up weights, but
Mm-hmm.
in my mindset, I was like, I need to able to do this and pick up things and be stronger and not ask for help, like, so that was the idea. So I could pick up more and do much better. And it's still still getting better. And that feels good, able to do and not ask for help. I can't take the estrogen, therapy, but using foods like flax seeds and chia seeds and the tofu,
The
you know,
lentils. Yeah.
say that again.
Your
Lentil,
lentils and beans.
lentil and beans, a lot of veggies every day, and yeah,
Yeah.
cutting down, big time cutting down on the cakes and sweets, all that kind of sugar.
You were doing all this keeping in mind because, again, well read, and you were very interested in also making sure that, you're preventing other metabolic conditions, right? Um, so I remember it took care of the pre-diabetes because
Oh
with
yes,
lack of
forgot
estrogen,
about.
we all tend to, it's all for most of the females, we have, higher chance of high blood pressure, pre-diabetes or diabetes. I know there is, high risk of autoimmune thyroid disease, and of course the bone loss. So it was a lot of preemptive things that you were adding on to, and I remember that helped you to come back to a normal A1C,
Yes,
blood glucose control, iron levels
iron. Yes,
got better.
yes.
Cholesterol levels were
Mm-hmm.
steady and stable. So that's another thing that happens with lack of
Yeah.
estrogen. So all our metabolic
Yeah. No, I'm just
aspects,
happy. I'm just happy. I
right?
forgot about the iron. I forgot about
Yes.
the.
Yeah. No, that's the story. When patients come to me, they'll be like, oh, I still have to work hard and I'm still not there yet. And then I have to go back and say, look at what you've accomplished.
I don't
Yeah.
worry so much. Yeah.
Exactly. So now we're
Mm.
not dealing with all those
Yeah.
conditions. We don't have to worry about it. And you're just in that, annual screening mode now,
Yes.
not
Yes.
frequent testing. So that's
Mm.
great. Estrogen is going, be
Yeah.
at age 40, be it at 50. But we cannot age from inside. Inside meaning how we feel, what we can
Yeah.
do, what we can accomplish, be it professionally, be it your ambitions, be it personally, be it mentally, psychologically, spiritually, right? So tell me how your perspective has changed in last 5-7 years towards life.
Yes, things did change. I can't do exactly what I could do before.
Mm-hmm.
But then isn't the change constant? So before it was like more hands-on, like where I could use some force to do things or more activity. But now I've learned to calm down. So I always wanted to do quilting and other things, but those are also a little hard right now for me to do. But I have got into needlework. Like sometimes it's
Mm-hmm.
shashiko, sometimes it's crochet, and that keeps me. I read more books, and I enjoy one-on-one time with my friends. I love working in my
Mm-hmm.
garden. I love cooking. Um,
Mm-hmm.
every meal, like it's so much fun. Going to farmers market, talking to everybody,
Yeah, tell us about your the national park trip, the hikes that
Oh
amazed
yeah,
you
and
also.
hikes are never a problem. I don't care if I'm tired and hurting at the end of the day. But yeah, every we went to Olympic National Park, and not a single day did my husband or my son had to think like, oh, you cannot do this. Let's not do
Mm.
any waterfall. Let's get to that. Oh, it's crazy. Okay, let's get to that.
You should start your day. I'm a superwoman. That's like our conviction that we should have every day in the morning.
Yeah.
Good. See, that's another inspiring statement that you just made. Um, Tell
Thank
me what,
you.
yeah, now if you look now, you talked about where you've come from, how you're feeling currently, like your present. How do you envision your future now?
I'm not the
Mm-hmm.
person 5 years down the road and 10 down the road, years down the road. I like every moment. So if I'm able to enjoy everything, every moment, I think I'm
Uh-huh.
happy. When I didn't plan, I could do so much, but by being disciplined of what I should be doing and understanding my system and how to
Yeah.
work with it, um, I think I can do whatever I wish to then that way.
Tell us about the herbs and spices because that's very important. The fermented foods
Yes.
that you incorporated. We talked about turmeric,
Mm-hmm.
and how are you incorporating that in your daily routine? So when we
Mm-hmm.
talked about nutrition, add something about herbs and spices because that has been very helpful
Mm-hmm.
in aches and pains. rather than just relying on continuous intake of, say, Tylenol or anti-inflammatory agents.
Yes, yes. As I said, I love cooking and farmers market, so I have two things at my disposal, blessed by God. So fermentation, normally once a year, I make like fermented lemons and then kimchi, radish or whichever kind, whatever vegetable is available, and then the sauerkraut, so something or
Mm-hmm.
the other, like, in fermentation. Of course, yogurt is there.
Mm-hmm.
Then the spices, as you said, turmeric, also the fresh one and also the powdered
Mm-hmm.
one. Being Indian, turmeric is part of our cuisine. Other herbs and spices, again, ginger.
Mm-hmm.
Ginger is a big part of the diet.
That's adding on to,
Yeah.
just the gut health.
Yes,
Indy
garlic,
specifically talked about garlic. Yes, you
garlic. Yeah.
specifically talked about fermented foods, and that's been because, gut, you're adding on to
Yes.
prebiotics,
Yeah.
probiotics. With all this, you just covered like more of the holistic care also, right?
Mhm.
I would include, like, if someone was going through these symptoms, definitely, with my patients, I'll have discussions about, okay, can we talk about hormone replacement therapy? And there's pretty good safety data out
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
But here we approach everything which is non-hormonal therapy, and you just shared a lot of it with
Yeah.
us today, right? If you had to share just a few words on, the women out there, especially the ones going through early menopause and cannot get or not necessarily have access to, but have major reasons to not be on hormone replacement therapy,
Mhm.
right? Um, Shine some light there, add some hope there, give them encouragement and inspiration.
Well, you're not alone, and what you're feeling can be overcome. Just take a breath, love yourself, go inside, listen what body is saying.
Mm-hmm.
If hot flash comes, just say, it's okay. I know this is a change. You can get over that. It's just listen to your body, look what it needs, get guidance wherever possible. You need someone to show you the light. You're like a lighthouse,
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, this
Mm-hmm.
way, come this way. Like, don't get don't get thrown in the ocean there,
From my standpoint, from my heart, appreciate all that you do for yourself, and now spread it. That's our goal, as humans. When we
Yeah,
receive
yeah,
and we feel good, I think the
yeah.
goodness has to be shared. So thank
You
you for
know that I am media shy, but I'm doing this. I'm putting my face because I want people to get help and feel better,
yes.
Anything for that. If this is my way of putting a small light, I'm ready for that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what really inspired me to get out of my comfort zone and be here with you right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's your true inspiration out there. I don't have to say anything. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you.